Imagine getting your bathroom remodeled and finally finished after several days. You turn the water on, but no water comes out. Today, I am at my friend's house fixing this problem. The person that finished this bathroom made a crucial mistake covering the shower valve with grout, making it impossible to access. As you can see here, the shower valve cover cannot be screwed onto the valve body because it's been covered up by the grout. The shower valve needed to be installed with the shower valve installation cover so that you can leave enough space around the valve to help you determine the depth inside the wall. I need to remove the grout and some of the tile around the valve. My friend told me this is very delicate glass tile and it breaks off easily. To prevent more tile from breaking, I will score the lines with my glass cutting tool because I do not want to replace any of the tiles. I begin by removing grout that was used to cover up the valve. I am using an old Dremel tool my dad restored. We thought it would be a nice opportunity to test the tool, and it came in handy for this job. Next, I begin to score the grout line with a knife to separate the tiles before I begin to break them up. I have enough space now to begin breaking up the tile. I am using a hammer and a very old screwdriver. I know some people do not like using their screwdrivers like this, but it's what we have with us and ultimately what works for us. Here you can see one of the screw holes on the valve body where the cover gets screwed into. This would have not happened if they used the installation cover, but my guess is that it was somebody's first time and they just didn't know what to do. This is the reason I'm breaking up the tile. This type of shower valve is typically used in apartment buildings or buildings with multiple dwellings because the valve itself has individual cold and hot water shutoff valves. This lets you shut off the water to the shower to replace a bad cartridge without having to shut off the water to the entire building. The person who installed this valve closed the ports on the cold and hot water and did not open them again before he decided to cover up the valve with grout, which he should have not done anyways. I do not need to make this any bigger now, so I decided to use the Dremel tool again to remove some of the sharpness to the glass tile edges. This will prevent someone from getting cut if they ever need to get in here again. There are two flat surfaces on these threads to help you remove the cartridge cover for the valve. My suspicions about this cartridge were correct, and it's one of the reasons I removed it. The rubber gasket that seals off the compartments of the cartridge has been damaged. You can see that it has been stretched out and is not longer in the groove where it needs to be. My theory is that the valve began to leak during the remodel and they shut off the cold and hot ports on the valve. And for comparison, here is the new valve cartridge next to the old one. As you can see, the rubber gasket is perfectly snug on the new valve. Also, if you go back and listen, the old valve was turning on and off very rough, so the inner seals are probably worn out as well. Before I insert the cartridge, I wet the rubber O-ring to make it easier to slide in. These are not moving parts on the outside, so no lubricant is required. The moving parts are all inside the cartridge. With all that finally done, and before I open up those cold and hot water ports, I need to clean up my mess so that there are no debris when I open the water to test everything. First, I will slightly open the ports so that I can flush out the line. Then finally open them up all the way. This is the hot water limiter. It sets the limit to how much hot water will come out when you open the valve by limiting the travel of the handle. The default position seems to give plenty of hot water, so that is where I will keep it and install the cover. And now, something that could have not been done before, we can mount the valve cover onto the valve body to seal off the cavity how it should have properly been done. The valve has been fixed and the water can now be opened and closed, and my friend can start using his shower. However, that was not the only problem that needed to be fixed. Although it's difficult to see, the top spout copper pipe was sweated on incorrectly and not leveled straight. Because of this, when the top spout is attached, there is a large gap on one side. Not only is this aesthetically bad, but it can also lead to water leaking back inside the wall. To fix this issue, the copper pipe will be sweated again to see if the problem can be corrected by aligning the connection straight. My father is the master plumber here, so he will be taking care of this. As you can see, the tub spout is now resting evenly across the tile, and it's even able to turn a few more times. We are adding silicone around the copper pipe to keep water from tracking back into the wall. We find it better to seal off around the pipe than applying silicone around the tub spout. And finally, some Teflon tape will help seal the threads of the copper pipe and the tub spout connection. We calibrated the hot water limiter and ran the water for a few minutes to make sure everything was okay. My friend was finally able to use his shower and most importantly stop stressing out about finding somebody that would be able to fix this. I hope this video has also been helpful to anyone watching. Thank you for your time, and please make sure to click on the like button, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. I will greatly appreciate it.